Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light or transient causes. And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. Now I'll pause here for a bit of translation. That simply means that over time, because of the human ability to adapt, then we gradually adapt to a life of suffering, rather than at some point say, enough of this. And because of that kind of adaptability, then people can live in suffering for generations upon generations. This is what is being pointed out here. Let's continue. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, that is undermining, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Now, this is one part and a very essential part of the Declaration of Independence. Now, let us define a few words here so that we can all be on the same page. The use of the term despotism here means absolute power and control, with the unrestrained intention to continue abusing such authority. Listen carefully, because it appears that the American public, we are used to being pricked and prodded like some white mouse in a cage. Just used to that. Now, throw off means to cast away, to get away from, or leave behind. Again, throw off, not overthrow. Now, based on the crisis that we all just experienced, did we not witness, meaning the Iranian U.S. government, President Donald Trump's bombing and killing and murder of an Iranian official, and all the aftermath, including the Iranian strike back as retaliation? And all of this unfolding, did we not witness how the U.S. Congress was bewildered, baffled, and disoriented over the actions of President Trump? Now, what power does the U.S. Congress have to really exercise its authority in the United States? What power does the U.S. Supreme Court really exercise in the United States? Now, it is far-fetched, or is it far-fetched, for us to agree that the executive branch of the United States government, that is the presidency, wields the power of a dictator, ruler, or king? How did it get that way? As you may know, for those who are learned, and of course there's tens of millions who are not, yet they're weighing in on these events. Against ignorance is on display. Those who may know, the various regimes of Congress, of the U.S. Congress, over decades, have approved bills that have undermined the U.S. Constitution under the auspices of noble causes, such as in the interests of national security. In the Holy Quran, Allah admonishes us against falling victim to those who cast evil suggestions and firm resolutions, meaning they have a hidden agenda, in addition to a false flag operation. Well, the unconstitutional laws that saturated the operations of the U.S. federal government to this day serve as the elephant in the room. Now, what does this saying or phrase mean? The elephant in the room is a problem that everyone knows is there, but no one wants to acknowledge it. They know the Federal Reserve is private, unconstitutional. They know that the laws, so-called under Homeland Security, that were enacted gave the President of the United States inordinate power on the domestic front and also on the international front. And if you pay attention to the arguments between the executive branch and the lawmaking body branch, the U.S. Congress, is over those installed stipulations, which are absolutely unconstitutional. And of course, with an ignorant public, there's no big outcry.